How you guys doing? You all right? So this talk's going to be very meaningful to me, and I know it's going to be meaningful to you. So to start with, I'm going to teach you guys how to make money the right way, the honest way, the integral way, especially for guys who have the anxiety, which is going to be everyone on this channel. You know, you would have been attracted to my story, whether you realize it or not. Because you know that if you know my story, you know that I had bad anxiety problems, and you know that I still live with anxiety, but I deal with it in such a positive way as opposed to the way that I used to deal with it 14 years ago, which was very negative. And I remember many times in my struggles, always struggling to make money, always feeling like life isn't fair. No one wants to show me how to make money. Everyone's greedy. Everybody's making money, but everyone wants me to be broke and wants me to suffer. So I was in a victim mentality. I had my reasons for feeling like that at that particular time. And I realized that the reason why I had low self-esteem and I had bad beliefs around money, most of it come from because I got bullied when I was younger, and it was the effects of what bullying done to me. Bullying affect my self-esteem, my self-worth. So if your self-esteem and your self-worth is affected, of course you're going to believe that you don't deserve to have a lot of money and you deserve to have very little money. And of course you're going to believe somewhere that you don't deserve to be loved, or there's conditions, you know, that you're not enough the way you are. You need to be more, you need to have more. You're constantly punishing yourself. So I went through all that. And I want to share this story because I had such a good realization today. And I went to a coffee shop. I made massive notes so that do you know what? When I do my talks, right, I don't need any notes, I don't need scripts, I don't need to warm up. It just comes natural. All I need to do is tell the truth, be passionate, teach. I've got my values intact. My goal is to motivate, inspire. My main goal is that when guys who have got bad anxiety, or women who have got bad anxiety, they watch my video, they get inspiration from the video. Inspiration, not like, oh, they get goosebumps, they go cold, and they feel, this guy inspired me. But it motivates them where they go, you know what, I'm going to go and face my anxiety. I can't do this no more. I can't be in this job anymore. I can't be treated like this in this relationship, or I can't be caring what people think anymore, or I've got to start going out facing whatever the fear may be. It doesn't really make a difference to me. What makes the difference is that I'm able to inspire people to confront their fears, and that's how they change their life. So yesterday, I got a client. I'm very grateful for the work. So I got £1,000 for 6 hours of my coaching, and this will explain something to you. So I got paid £1,000 for 6 hours. And years ago, when I was insecure and depressed, and I was secretly suicidal every day, I worked as a labourer. I was doing construction. I did many jobs when I was younger, and I was getting paid £40 a day, right, for 8 hours work. Now listen, I would be grateful now for £40 because of what I've been through in my life, being successful, struggling, being on benefits, being financially free. I've been in all different places you can imagine. I've lived in a mental hospital in 2017. I lost everything, absolutely everything, right? Apart from having a good family, and I was still alive. So I'm not knocking anybody that gets paid low money. I weren't brought up like that, and my heart wouldn't allow me to do that. But I am saying that if you want to live your dream life, then you deserve to make more money if you're going to work hard and do the things that I'm going to teach you in this video today. So when I was doing this job, the boss on the job wasn't being a good person. He was bullying everyone. You know, he's racist. He wasn't nice. He was manipulating. He was putting people down, and he started doing it to me, and I didn't like it because I don't like treating people like that. I already came from being bullied at school, so being bullied in work, and the reason why he was bullying people, because his character was weak. He was an insecure man despite being big, but he knew that he could prey on people's financial security, because his attitude was, well, if you don't like it, then there's a door and you're not going to make any money. Everybody working for him, myself included at the time, we were desperate for the money. I needed to get by, right? And I was always grateful to have any job in my life. But it's interesting that I was getting paid £40 for 8 hours. I was being treated like trash. I was breaking my bollocks, busting my nuts every day. I wasn't really appreciated. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed having a job. And now, in 6 hours, I've made £1,000. What's the difference? What's the difference between the new me, the new Jonathan, and the old Jonathan? The Jonathan of 15 years ago. Well, the old Jonathan was terrified. He wasn't able to face his anxiety. He was so afraid of being hurt. He was ashamed. He was embarrassed. He was suicidal. He was depressed. He didn't really like himself. He didn't like his life. Despite being grateful, I was afraid. I was afraid of being hurt by people. I was afraid of being exposed. I was afraid to be in a spotlight. I didn't want people looking at me. And I didn't want people, I couldn't handle failure. Because when I got bullied when I was younger, I interpretate that as I'm being bullied because there's something wrong with me and I'm a failure. And when I got rejected by women, when I failed my exams at school, so all these things, I interpretate them as I'm a failure. Every time I tried, I failed. So I dare not try and better my career. I dare not try and better my finances, because there was a belief in my head, there was a schema that says you don't deserve to make more than £40 a day. This is all you're worth. So when you believe it, you achieve it. Because I believed even that's too much. At the time, I remember thinking, well, this is hard work, but it's still £40 a day. That's £200 a week. That's a lot of money. And I am grateful, don't get me wrong. But I wasn't happy and I wasn't being treated well. So I had to go through that, and I had to grow through that, where the person I am now, the reason why I make 10 times more than that is because I faced my fear continuously. And this is what it entails. Let me just explain something, because we always hear this on YouTube and it's great advice. Face your fears, man up or woman up or be brave. That's true, but most people don't do it because it entails quite a lot of stuff. And this is what it entails. I've made some notes here. This is just to reiterate. What does it take to make money, inspire people, attract a lovely relationship, build self-confidence in life, build a successful business? Well, number one, it takes a lot of courage and hard work. Back then, when I was getting £40 a day and being treated bad, I wasn't willing to exert my courage and work hard, because I was so afraid of failure, pain, change, discomfort, and challenging the old demons, the beliefs, which terrified me in and of itself. Most people are not willing to go through the difficult emotions in order to get the results. Most people are not willing to take a risk and fail the way to success. That was me. That was me years ago. That was the old me. I wasn't willing to take risks. I wasn't willing to fail. So I stayed in jobs that I didn't enjoy. I let people treat me badly, and I earned minimum wage because I didn't want to go through these things and I didn't believe I was worth more. If you want to be successful, then you've got to take action on your fears when you're scared and overwhelmed. I wasn't willing to do that. And that's what most people are not willing to do. They're not willing to take action when they have a feeling of diarrhea, when you need to go to the toilet, because this is the facts of life. When you're scared and you're nervous and you're overwhelmed, it makes you feel sick. I used to get diarrhea all the time. Nervousness, panic, an inability to communicate around other people, overwhelmed, paranoia, worrying, that whole cycle of obsessive, compulsive worry and anxiety. People just can't cope with that unless they choose to be brave, and they choose to be some of the things I'm going to teach you in this video. So I weren't willing to go through that. So I had to get to a point when this is what happened in this job. Let me share this with you guys, the truth. The boss was okay with me because he probably sensed that I was a bit more tougher than the people that I work with, despite being not strong enough. But he got to a point where he kept pushing my buttons, laughing at me, making fun of me, taking the piss out of me. And I flipped, I bursted. And all that shyness, all that being meek, being a lamb, being scared. No, I did what my father taught me. Treat people how you want to be treated, but don't take crap from anyone. So I stood up to him. I said, listen, mate, you can stick your job up your ass and don't ever speak to me like that again. Don't ever. And he was like, you know, bullies. What do bullies do when you stand up to them? They fall apart. Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry, mate. Oh, what's wrong with you? Listen, mate. You're being horrible to everyone. You know what's wrong with you. You're being narcissistic, you're being nasty, you're abusing your power, and it ends here. So I left the job. He tried to tempt me back, tried to bribe me back. I quit the job. That was the start of something great in my life. It still wasn't complete. And after that, I remember thinking, when I calmed down, I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got no job now. I've lost £200 a week, which is a lot of money when you're broke. What will I do? I've got no qualifications. I didn't go to university. I didn't do well in my GCSEs because I wasn't passionate about these subjects. I didn't want to do them. But something in me said to me, it's going to be all right, it's going to work out. And I had to go through what I said in all my videos, if you know my story. I wanted to kill myself, but I was afraid to do it. I was afraid to live, and I was afraid of staying where I was. So I was stuck. I was afraid to be stuck, which I was. I was afraid to kill myself, which I was. And I was afraid of being the way I was forever. So when I heard that message from Les Brown, and he said, someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. For so many years, the opinion that I had of myself was based on the opinion of everyone around my neighborhood and my school, who bullied me, who laughed at me, who called me names, who called me a coward, who called me a geek, who called me horrible names. It was somewhere there. And I shaped my whole personality based on that. But when Les Brown said, no, you can respond. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to be your reality. It woke me up. And then he said, it's possible. You can live your dreams in the beautiful way that he says it's possible. He kept saying it's possible. You can have your own business. You can write your own book. You can travel the world. You can reinvent your life. It's possible. You can live your dreams. You can fall in love, meet the right person. You can inspire millions of people. It's possible. For those moments when he said it, I believed it. I actually believed it in those short moments, and it made me cry. I cried not because I was weak, because I felt relief, I felt love, I felt I'm going to do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't be in this place. I can't be afraid of being afraid. I can't protect myself no more. It's killing me. Me protecting myself from being hurt and affected by others is actually hurting me more. I'm going to face this. We're going to face this demon that's been bullying me my whole life. These fears, these insecurities, these tormenting thoughts and emotions and panic attacks and diarrhea and paranoia and social nervousness and never feeling safe in my own body. Nah, that's it now. That's it. I've had enough of it. And that's what I done. And through going out and gradually confronting my fears, I gained confidence. I was able to take more risks in every aspect, not just financially. So please, guys, don't be small-time thinkers. Don't just think, oh, he's just talking about money. If I was just talking about money, I'll switch the video off. It'd be boring. I'm talking about money, but a lot more. For me, this is about being happy in my life, having good mental health, being free, feeling that I'm fulfilling what I know God's put in my heart to do. I'm not being treated like this. I know I'm better than that. So I went on to do that. And obviously my whole journey, my whole purpose was around, I've got to fix myself so I can start changing other people's lives. And that's what I started doing. So the reason why I earn the money that I do now, which is 10 times more, because I've become more valuable in life. I value myself more. I have more confidence. I have more skills. My social skills, my relationship skills, my life skills, my entrepreneurial skills, my speaking skills, my writing skills, my self-awareness. All these skills I've developed have enabled me to make money, where I had these skills years ago, but I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't know that I didn't know how to develop them, because I didn't think it was possible. I didn't believe I was allowed. I felt like something was holding me back. School, negative people, life, society. But obviously, when you change, you sit here and you go, hang on a minute, despite external factors playing a part in me struggling and people putting me down, no one was ever stopping me. That guy couldn't keep me in that job. I left when I wanted to, and I didn't have to earn minimum wage if I didn't want to. So that's why my income's changed, and that's why I'm helping you today. If you can appreciate, I can't force you to, it's fine. I'm teaching you right now how to make more money. What am I saying? The reason why people don't make more money, because they don't face their fears. They don't face the emotions. They don't face the panic attacks. They don't face life. They don't face the truth. And that's why their financial income is stuck. And that's why their self-esteem's stuck. So deep down as a kid, it wasn't about money for me. It was about this feeling I've got now. I want to be free. I want to enjoy life. I want that feeling of goodness. I want to feel right about my life and about what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it didn't feel right when I was younger. And the reason why it didn't feel right, because it wasn't right. My finances weren't right. My physique wasn't right. My speaking weren't right. My relationships weren't right. My success wasn't right. My goals weren't right. My discipline, my accountability, my thinking, the way that I interacted, none of it was right. It was broken from when I was younger, and I was able to fix it by facing my fears and developing better skills. And of course, in terms of business, why I make the money I make now, because I'm giving so much value to people. And of course I was giving value back then, but not as much value, because I was only valued at £40 a day for shoving cement and bricks and being, making tea and going up and down. And there's nothing wrong with that. I respect anyone who does a hard day work. As I said, I've been broke, I've had nothing. But it's not my point here. My point is you don't have to live a life of misery and pessimism and low self-esteem. And I could have killed myself. So the deeper message of what I'm saying is that people are struggling with mental health because things have been done to them. And like I said in my other videos, it's not about being a victim. We need to support, we need to speak up. So it's a pleasure for me to face my fears, to help other people to do the same. And that's why I'm so grateful. And I could still be grateful making £40 a day, but I choose not to, because I want to give more money to my parents, which I'm able to do. I want to be able to give, if I'm walking down the street and I see a homeless person struggling and I want to give them money, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to bless them. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to have to walk past and go, oh, I love to do it, but I can't do it. I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want money to get in the way of love. I don't want money. I don't want to worship money, but I want to have it as a tool. I want to make it more of it so I can help more people, so I can live a blessed life and help other people. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm proud of myself. And I know that you'll be proud of yourself when you take my advice and make it work for you. So it's really about standing up to bullies. Now, a great thing that I've learned, I don't have any anger or animosity towards that man. I'm actually grateful, didn't appreciate his behavior. Obviously, this is years ago, but I've gotten past it. Forgiveness, I guess God helps me to forgive. And just, you appreciate. So this is my journey, guys. Most people online don't talk about the struggles because they're embarrassed, they're scared. I'm not scared to talk about it. I'm proud of the struggles that I went through. If I didn't go through getting £40 a day for 8 hours, busting my nuts, I wouldn't be making the money that I'm making. I deserve the money that I make now. And so do you if you get your act together and start building your confidence. And I always knew deep down, it's a weird thing to say, but deep down I was a confident man who just was afraid of confidence. I was afraid of responsibility. It was easier to be weak and let people walk all over me. At least I thought, until later on I realized it's not easy. It's not easy because I had to live with the consequences, which made me want to kill myself at times. Thank God I don't want to kill myself anymore. I enjoy my life and I love doing this. This video is free, which is great for me to do this, but the heart that I've got to put into this, it's not free. This takes me every ounce of courage to say these words and to share my life, my heart, my vulnerabilities, my successes, but it's worth it to inspire other people. What's the point? What's the point of being selfish and keeping all this into myself? I'm not going to do that. I weren't brought up like that. That's not what my faith tells me, and it doesn't feel right. So I want to bless you guys. I want you guys to make money if you want to make money and be a better person. But more importantly, confidence. That's what it's about. Having confidence is everything in life. It's like taking oxygen away from trees. They're going to die. And if you take confidence away from a man too long, he's going to die, he's going to break down. He might be living and breathing, but he's dead inside. And that's how I felt years ago. And I was afraid to say it. I was afraid to own it. I was afraid to admit it to myself. I'm not afraid anymore because I overcome it. And I've chosen to live a fearless life. Listen up. So, I reiterate. Right, okay. Most people tell themselves that they cannot handle these emotions. This is why people stay in jobs that no longer inspire them anymore. This is why people stay in toxic relationships. This is why people settle for a life of comfort and security, which is what I used to do. If you want to live an amazing life, then you've got to give up comfort and security. There's no real security in this life. The only security is that there's no security. And if you want to live a life of purpose and meaning, there's no security. Living as a coward comes at a price, just as living fearlessly does. When I was younger growing up, they told me that I was stupid, that I was dumb. Now, I don't want to be big-headed, but I'm confident. Look how smart I am. Look at how beautifully I speak. Look at how intelligent I am, thanks to my parents, my faith. And I don't believe it anymore because I've proved the doubters wrong. And I proved it to myself that I am a very intelligent young man. And I know all of you are the same. This is not polite talk. I don't need to do it. I don't do small talk. I'm not in the business of pleasing my clients. I'm in the business of changing their lives. Every client I meet who has the same anxiety I had, lovely people, great guys, confident, bright, but at the moment they don't believe that, and I understand because I was the same until they change it. So it's amazing what people tell you as opposed to what is not true. So my question to all of you watching this video is, what price are you willing to pay right now? Because living as a coward equals anxiety, depression, and life of misery. Living fearlessly equals a life of excitement and meaning, and that doesn't mean with no challenges. So, my 12-month anxiety program is only for committed clients. It's for the 5% of society that choose to live a successful, meaningful life. I'm not saying this is easy by any means. However, living a life of misery is the most difficult thing I've ever done. Change comes at a price of suffering. The suffering is going through the mental and emotional stress of taking action on your fears and anxiety. When you have the hunger to live a successful life, no one can stop you. This is why I only work with committed clients. I cannot help you if you're not committed to changing your life. No matter how good my coaching is, if you don't have the hunger to change your life, it's not going to work. Having the right strategy is important. However, if you don't have the burning desire to succeed, then the strategy is useless. It does really take a real strong person to do my 12-month anxiety program. If some of you or many of you can't do my program because you don't have the hunger right now, or you don't have the finances, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Stick to my free YouTube videos. Wait for that hunger to come. If you're hungry to succeed and you want to apply for my 12-month anxiety program, send me an email in the box below. So that's some writing. I wanted to put the pieces together and let that sink in. So it's an absolute privilege for me to just have people that listen to my story, that inspire. I know how much this means to people. And as I said, I'm a man of my word. I promised in 2017, I prayed to God. I said, if you help me to get, I'm not saying do everything for me, but if you help me to get through this time in my life, which is the most challenging time I've ever been through in my life, it's the most scariest time. I'm living in a mental hospital. I'm living my childhood nightmare. I'm locked up. I've lost my, partially lost my sanity, and I'm terrified. And I've gone from a guy that wasn't terrified, was confident, successful, was living a dream life, and I've lost all of it. But I'm not complaining. I'm actually grateful that I'm in here. I'm in good hands. I'm being looked after. I got a copy of the Bible. I prayed. I had family see me. I had a couple of friends reach out, help me financially, food. I made friends in there. After a week there, I got my strength from praying, and I got my confidence up, and I could relax in there. And part of me, now you know I got screws loose, I didn't kind of want to leave because I built like a nice feeling there, nice people. And I said, man, God, you helped me out, man. You've bailed me out a lot of times. And I know I keep asking, and I'm sorry if I sound ungrateful, but I ain't got no one else to go to. And if you help me get out of this, and you help me to get back in shape, I promise you, when I get to this point, I'll do everything I can to help other people. More than what I'd done before. I'll be more honest than I was. I give everything. And that's what I'm doing, because that's what has happened to me now, and has continued. And it's weird, because as I start to make money, I realise that I don't really care about the money as much as I thought I did. But you still got to make it. We've got to live. We've got to pay rent. Want to have a nice life. It's the freedom. I want to feel good. I want to live a successful life. I want to inspire my clients. I want to inspire people that are going through it, because I think a lot of times us men, we're not really honest about how bad we're struggling. We play it down because it's hard. It's so hard to get it out. It's easier to go in. Boxing's hard. Boxing's tough. But Joe Kawasaki's right, one of my favorite fighters. Boxing's not harder than life. I've been in the boxing ring. I've been knocked out, got back up. I had some beatings, given some beatings. It is hard, but it's not as hard as life. I'm going to give a cheesy Rocky quote. Life hits harder than boxing. So it's tough. It is hard. And life is hard. I'm not going to deny that for all of us, but it's a choice. Either it's hard, living a life of misery, poverty, low self-esteem, no dreams, feeling bad, letting other people control the way that you live because you care what they think, or living a blessed life. I live a blessed life. Now, it's a challenging life, but it's amazing what I've done. And I used to dream about being this person I am. I used to dream and think, how would that feel? How would that feel to have a girlfriend? To be able to do nice things and just go somewhere and not be broke and not have to, when I was younger, I had to get on trains and bunk because I was broke. I had to walk miles, and walk hours. I couldn't eat. I was broke. Humbling times. I'm not complaining. It makes you humble, but it makes you tough, makes you hungry, gives you the will to win, gives you that fight in you, makes you not give up. I never gave up. All throughout my life, I gave up at times, but I never gave up. And that's the message I've got people that follow me. I know it's hard. It's harder than you can even imagine. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up. Don't let the anxiety take over. It tries to trick you. You're stronger than it. Use the anxiety. I use my anxiety. That's what all successful people do. One of the things I realized on my journey as well, I just give myself a hard time on my own. I say, I'm ashamed. You're shameful. Then I realize everyone's got fear. Everybody feels anxiety. Some people have it a bit more. Some people deal with it well. I deal with it very well now, which is why I live the life that I live. And I'm living my purpose, and others don't. So I'm compassionate. When people say, oh, most people don't, but some people say, oh, your message is harsh, man. You're straight to the point, you know. You've got to be more compassionate. I am compassionate. I'm passionate. This is compassion. What else is it? I'm sharing everything for free, and I want to do that. And this is what changed my life. And I learned from so many people, Les Brown. So, guys, you can do this if you really want to do it. And like I said, it's the emotions that you've got to go through, but it's not going to be forever. It will go away. The pain won't be forever. The panic attacks won't last forever. You know, the diarrhea, the eating disorders, the hiding, the avoiding, the triggers, you get stronger, then you calm down. You know, my speaking's improved. I really appreciated the other day. It meant a lot to me. I was on a live stream. One of you said I speak really well. I've got a nice calming voice. It's taken me 11 years to speak like this. I'm still developing it because I weren't calm inside. I was ashamed. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm a lot calmer. I'm so grateful. So all of you can do it. The hardest client I ever coached was me. Once I could coach me and get me over the line and succeed, that's what gave me so much confidence to help other people. Anyway, I could go on and on and on. I'm enjoying this so much. I'm going to end this a bit prematurely. And that's how you make money. That's how you live your dreams. That's how you turn all the things that happened to you when you were younger that have just hurt you bad, and you put it right. And you do heal as you go through it. I feel it in my heart. I feel more healed. I just feel fixed. So there you have it. That's another piece of my heart. That's another piece of my story. And I'm over the moon because I know it's going to help a lot of people and change lives. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Remember, become fearless.